Cape Scott? I'll leave my mic off and speak loud.
You do that. Okay. First, public appearance for non-agenda items. Jenny, Jerry, and Kathy, would you like to come up? Speak, have registered to speak on stormwater and runoff issues. And, I would add the most patient residents and taxpayers in Fitchburg.
You want me to do Michael's, or, because it's red, so I think it's off.
Keep it off for right now. Just talk as loud as you can.
I can do that.
So yes, as Dave Herbst mentioned, this is an issue that's been going on for some time. We attended the last, I think it's up.
Mr. Chairman, would you mind if we take a 5-minute recess?
Yes, motion to recess for 5 minutes.
We are in recess.
No problem.
Everybody turn their mics on.
Mr. Chairman? Yeah. Leave us open and go ahead and get us going.
Try yours again, Dave.
All right, we are out of recess. I'll start over. We have Jerry and Kathy Neitzel, 2482 South Sain Road, registered to speak on stormwater runoff issues. Go ahead.
There it is. Yes, as mentioned in previous meetings, we have been discussing this issue for some time and looking to Public Works to assist us with coming up a plan of action to address the issues of stormwater runoff as being blocked on our property. I'm also aware that we're not the only people having these issues with neighbors. We also noted recently that the neighbors also have their water spouts and whatnot from their garage also pointing into our property. So we're not only dealing with blocked area of access for the stormwater to run off the main property, but there's also additional water being deflected towards our property from their property. Last meeting, Mr. Balke had mentioned something about the state attorneys and someone else were looking into something, so I was wondering if we could get a little more information regarding that if we could, and what does that mean towards the status of moving this forward?
Yeah, the city stormwater engineer and the city attorney are reviewing the state drainage law and our city ordinances as it pertains to the situation that you have on your property, and seeing what rules are in place to be able to do anything and to make any suggestions that the city could implement as far as ordinance changes with regard to off-site drainage and on-site drainage. They haven't had it was a short week last week, so we haven't had a chance to fully vet that. Thought we had 2 weeks between the meetings, but it was a quick turnaround. So I spoke, a little out of turn, saying that we could have something by this meeting, but we obviously don't. But that is something that they are looking into, and just the legality of what private property owners can be required to do and what regulations we can enforce.
Okay.
Bill, could we, we have Jerry and Kathy's number. Can we, when that, Claudia and the attorney, can we email them? I feel bad, I keep bringing them up, promising them we'll have something, and this is on me, that we email them when it's ready, so then we can have a meaningful discussion on this, and they can have some direction on how to resolve this issue.
And in your defense, you did tell us if it wasn't on the agenda, it wasn't on the agenda this week, but we just, because it has just been drawn out so long, we just want to kind of keep it there in the forefront and make sure.
Staying in front of us is a good idea. I won't dispute
Yep.
that. So thank you for coming, and we will email you when it's ready and when it will be on the agenda.
Okay, good.
I still mean to stop down and see you. I'm sorry, I haven't. I've been down at a couple other residents down there, and I forgot to come by your place when I was there, so.
Jim was
Jim is,
good about coming down and meeting with us, and,
yep.
I'll show you some pictures after the.
Okay, that'd be perfect, Jim.
Yep,
That'd be
yep.
perfect.
good.
And you can see it's, I mean, right now, it ain't as bad because
We
we
have a
haven't had
drought.
much rain.
Right,
But when we have rain, I can't do nothing behind the garages.
yeah,
And it's hard to maintain it because it's so muddy.
yep.
Yep, and a mosquito issue, to say the least, so. And I'm sensitive to mosquito bites, so it's rough to deal with.
Understood. Thank you for your
We appreciate your
patience.
time.
We will be back.
Okay,
Next time, we'll be in contact with you before, so you
okay.
know. Again, thanks for coming.
Thanks, Dave.
Thank you.
All right, moving on, number 3, approval of minutes. Do we have a motion to approve the minutes of the July 26, 2021 Board of Public Works meeting? We have a second.
second it.
Second by Wilborn. Discussion.
We lose Mike.
Comments? Did we lose? Michael, can you still hear us?
I can, sorry,
Okay,
let me,
no, that's all right. You can leave your video off. I just want to make sure you were still there. Okay, then we'll, seeing none, we'll call the vote. All in favor of approval of the July 26 minutes signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Next, report from Department Head, Mr. Bill Balke.
Here we go. The, Public Works has been pretty involved with submitting our budget for operating this year, for this coming up year. We did put in for some new initiatives with regard to data management, asset management, just looking to try to get a handle on what we're doing and how we're doing it effectively so that we can, spend our resources the most effectively that we can. Not much has changed from last year's budget to this year's budget, but again, with the town of Madison coming on, we are looking for some new areas that we have to take care of with maintenance for roads and sewer, water, storm, et cetera. So we are taking that into account as well for the budget. The development as far as construction projects going on around the city, Sain Road, water main construction, we got our permit on Friday, so we started construction out there today. They had just been kind of filling time last week to get things ready. So laying out pipe materials, getting things ready for construction until we obtain that permit. So they are out there doing construction. The contractor said that depending on how things go during construction, they may be asking for a time extension of about a week because it was delayed because of the permit. So that might be coming down the road. Fish Hatchery Road, we are still trying to get a handle on our Caddis Bend traffic backups in that area. They're going to be ongoing for the next few weeks while we do the construction in that area. We're trying to get those resolved, but stealing green time from Fish Hatchery Road to give it to one to Caddis Bend will back traffic up on Fish Hatchery. So we're doing as much as we can with the timings. So some off-peak times, we're going to be having more green time to those intersections. So that we can afford to do that. But during the peak times, rush hours, it's going to be tough to keep traffic moving in both directions. Got a couple subdivision improvement acceptances tonight for Payne and Dolan CSM and the Terra Vesa First Edition. So those are moving forward. Fahey Fields is moving forward with the construction over there. They completed the water and the sewer, and they're working on the storm sewer now. So that's moving along nicely. We're looking for acceptance on the Crescent Crossing and the Stoner Prairie subdivisions, probably within the month of August. So we can look forward to getting those on the records so that we can get building permits issued out there. We've been busy with development reviews in City Hall. With new developments coming in, and within our Public Works Streets Department, we're out there doing some road patching and We'll be working on a couple of stormwater projects coming up in August. The Seminole Village Pond, we're looking to terrace some of that area there along McKee and Seminole Highway to put in some trees for screening around the pond that's at that location. And also across the street from there, we're looking to do a little ditching job next to the Windswept Way condominiums there. So that's pretty much what we're working on public works wise, getting our water meters installed in the new homes. So those are still going forward, and just busy all around.
Thank you, Bill. Questions for Bill?
Board.
Bill,
Go ahead, Michael.
I was just gonna say, with the addition of the town of Madison, are we expecting to actually gain any equipment? Is that all going to other jurisdictions that may have been taking over other parts of the town of Madison? And if so, second part of that, have we had an impact of how our current equipment / facilities are gonna be taxed with the new area coming in? Are we looking at like an overall increase of, 10% coverage, anything like that?
Yeah, as part of the town of Madison acquisition, what would come to the city, we are going, I'd have to double check on the assets themselves, but as far as equipment, what the city would obtain. But we are looking at about, 3.5 miles of roadway that's going to come in, associated stormwater. The sewer and water will still be maintained by the city of Madison, or that will go to them for their maintenance of those facilities and the internal water meters. So we will just be purchasing the sewer and water from the city of Madison, as we do with some other areas around the city. Yeah, we've done a pretty thorough inventory of all of the town of Madison area for public works, and feel that, we have a good handle on what we need to do. There is an additional part-time staff person that would be shared with Parks that was requested to take into account the area and the maintenance that's going to come in with the city of Madison, or the town of Madison. And and we did put in for an additional plow truck to be purchased with the city of Madison, or the town of Madison, and then with the Terra Vesta neighborhoods that are coming online. So we are still negotiating or in talks with the city of Madison, because they've got routes adjacent to city of Fitchburg that it may be more beneficial for them to take over those areas than to run a separate route up into that area. So we're still looking at the operational part of things.
Bill, I have two questions.
Turn your mic on.
Thank you, Jim. Is there anything we could have done different, for that permit for Sain Road? Was it just DNR didn't get it done? Did we apply it late? Just anything we can do in the future to prevent, the construction delay?
We had timed it pretty tight, and the DNR, they have a certain number of days to approve it. They did fulfill that within their number of days. Typically, it's usually we would see it within a week sooner,
Okay.
but it just went that extra week.
Okay. Second question is more of a comment, in the capital improvement, we have proposed to fix the lift that we have down in the maintenance facility. I don't know if you want to have Mark, I toured the CertCo, they have that maintenance facility for their semis, and they have portable jacks in there that I think can be moved around. And I don't know if you want to, I can get Mark in contact with Antonio, he's the facilities manager, and maybe we want to look at that option. If you had those, maybe, you could do a lift anywhere versus always having to go on there. So have Mark give me a call, I'll give him Antonio's email, and I'm sure they'd be glad to show him what they have in their facility. All right, thank you. Next, moving on to agenda items. First, Resolution R 142-21, resolution accepting subdivision improvements in Phase 1 of the Payne and Dolan CSM. Do we have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve?
Moved by Granetsky, do we have a second?
Second.
Second. Second by Wheeler. Discussion, Bill, we're accepting part of this, just phase 1 here is what we're accepting. And it looks like it's the Commerce Park Drive road extension, am I correct there?
Correct. The CSM that was approved back in 2017 was for the lands that's essentially located in the area of Sub-Zero Parkway, Commerce Park Drive, Lacey Road, and Seminole Highway, or it should say west of the Badger State Trail. And in this area, as required per ordinance, the subdivider is required to install public improvements such as roads, stormwater management, et cetera. The developer assumed the rights of the subdivision improvement agreement, Promega did, from the subdivider Payne and Dolan. And then we looked at what they would need to have occupancy of their building and amended the agreement to include the project into 2 phases. So anywhere adjacent to their property, they're required to put in these improvements. So they were required to put along Commerce Park Drive, the roadway, sidewalk, trees, sewer, water storm. And then also on Lacey Road, they were required to install a pathway and water main improvements and sanitary improvements as well. Because of the timing of the Lacey Road reconstruction, we broke the project into 2 phases so that the occupancy of the developer wouldn't be tied to the entire development, but just those specific to the improvements needed for occupancy. The Phase 1 improvements are for Commerce Park Drive, and they've installed all the improvements, and they meet our specifications. They provided all of the lien waivers, completed the punch list items. So they're in compliance with our subdivision improvement agreement, and we're recommending the improvements be accepted by the council as public improvements.
Thank you, Bill. Questions from the board?
None, it sounds like it's pretty tight.
The only question I had, is there a gap? You know, when I see Commerce Drive, it comes up, and then we haven't done Lacey. You know, is there gonna be a gap between the contractor, you know, Lacey Road, you know, the intersection there is what I'm concerned about.
That's going to be taken care of as part of our Lacey Road reconstruction this year, so the intersection improvements would make the connection there.
Okay. Michael, you have anything? No?
No, just thank you for being flexible.
Okay. All right. Then, give me one sec. Call the vote then. All in favor of approving Resolution R 142-21, signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Next, if I can page up here. Next, we have Resolution R 137-21, a resolution accepting subdivision improvements in the plat of first addition to Terra Vesta. Do we have a motion to approve?
So move we approve R-137-21.
Moved by Wilborn, do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Granetsky. We had this previous, and we delayed or deferred. They weren't done with some work. I assume that it has been completed to your satisfaction at this point?
Partially, the conditions have been satisfied. The developer has provided the lien waivers and has paid the invoices to this point. But the restoration of the park area has not been completed to our satisfaction. But they are making progress on it, and we would ask that the resolution be amended to insert a condition to conditionally approve the improvements upon the completion of the park improvements by the council meeting. So we believe that it could make enough progress by the council meeting to approve it at that time, but we still need to have that final execution before the council meeting.
Understood. Who on the board would like to make a motion for that amendment?
I don't know if I can remember it all. You want to run it by me again?
Sure. You would be amending the resolution to include a condition the approval upon completion of the park restoration area.
I still make that amendment. Thank you.
Okay. We have a second.
Second.
Any discussion? I think it's clear what we're asking for. If it's certainly if it's not done by the time it comes to council, it won't be approved at that point. If it's not done to Bill's, the department's satisfaction. So we'll vote on the amendment. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Now back to the original resolution. Do we have any further discussion or questions on the original resolution? Seeing none, all in favor of the amended resolution R 137-21 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Our next Board of Announcements, next Board of Public Works meeting, August 16th. Mr. Wilborn won't be here. Jim or Michael, do you know anything about your unavailability or availability of that meeting?
I will be available.
Okay, I am available.
Same.
Michael's available, okay. So we will have a quorum for that meeting, Bill. And so at this time, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move.
We have a second.
I'll second.
Second by Wilborn. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned.